My name is Hannah. I am a Yin Yoga instructor and welcome to my channel. I wanted to take you through a 30-minute sequence. It's a full body sequence, just getting into the upper body, the lower body, and the intention of the practices today is just to let go of the old and bring in the new. We are just a few weeks into the new season here, fall, autumn, and just want to practice on bringing in any manifestations that you have, any new positivity you want to bring into the body, while focusing on letting go of what no longer serves you. So what we're gonna do is we're first gonna start in a gentle child's pose to get the practice started here. So what we're gonna do is just put those legs, a little bit far apart from each other while gently walking those fingertips forward and dropping that chest to the mat. It is really important to really breathe into the pose. We are going to be holding these poses for 3 to 5 minutes, so we really want to make sure that we can breathe through this. So in Yin Yoga, it's all about finding your edge. So finding where you feel a slight bit of discomfort and holding there. And then the next principle of yoga is staying still. So in order to target the fascia and the connective tissue, we do have to stay in these poses for an extended period of time without moving to target it correctly. And then lastly, we want to hold for time. So again, I mentioned we're holding these poses between 3 and 5 minutes. And that's because in order to target that fascia, which is very plastic-like, does not like to bend, we need to hold and be patient while we're working into that connective tissue. Remember to take long breaths. You might be feeling this in the upper back, down the neck, into the arms, maybe even in the hips. Every body is different and we might be feeling it in all different places. So just be observant of where you're feeling that discomfort. And again, breathing in that positive, loving energy and letting go on those exhales, just anything you've been holding on to that no longer serves you. When you are ready, slowly vertebrae by vertebrae begin to walk those fingertips back up to center, and just take a moment here to feel the difference in the back, in the legs, in the neck after doing that pose. And maybe just take any pose that you intuitively are calling for before we make our way into our next pose. So the next pose that we're gonna do is a fire log pose. So what we're gonna do is we're going to start by putting our left leg to our groin area and then crossing that right leg on top of the left, and try to get this as center as possible on top, or square as possible. So you might be feeling a lot of tension right here into the hip and the glute already, but if you're looking for a little bit more sensation, you can go ahead and walk those fingertips forward. You can also drop that chest. So again, like I mentioned before, our breath in, which is our prana, our life force, energy is really important in these poses. There's a lot of discomfort that comes while holding these poses for an extended period of time. But you want to stick with the breath and just surrender again to where you are today and that discomfort. Our bodies hold on to so much physical stress, whether that's just from our everyday lives, of our activities that we're doing, and also emotional stress. So by holding these poses for an extended period of time, we're unlocking, pushing on that physical part of our body and ultimately unlocking the emotional meridians, chakras in the body, and letting that energy go that no longer serves us. And again, bringing in that positive energy. So just remembering to focus on that concept is really important, because it's not all about the physical body here. It's a really big mind-body connection when it comes to Yin Yoga. So as you sit in these poses longer, you just also might feel that your body just begins to let go a little bit more, and that's the beauty of Yin Yoga. We let gravity do the work here. We're not trying to force or push ourselves. Ultimately, the longer that we're holding these poses, gravity is pushing us further and further into them, and that is the concept and the beauty of yoga. So, continue to breathe. If your breaths begin to get short, that's completely normal because of that discomfort. You might just be holding your breath, so just continue to make them nice and long. And we're already halfway there. Let's continue to hold. Under a minute, just about 30 seconds left to go. So if you're still holding this pose, good for you. And if you have to get out of the pose, don't judge yourself. If there's any shooting type pain, we don't want that. But if there is just any type of discomfort, of course, I challenge you to stay with me here, as the reward is really, is great. You'll feel a really big release. Just one more breath or so. Awesome work. Walk those hands up and unwind those legs. Might feel a little stiff here, and that is normal. So just take a second, again, take whatever movement you need. I'm rolling out my ankles here. Rolling up the neck. Okay, and we're just gonna take it to the other side. But before we do that, I actually do want to do a forward fold. So what we're gonna do is just we're gently just gonna fold the body over. So just curl that back and put those hands either, down on the mat, or you can put them facing up. Let me move back here so you can see me a little better. But this is a great stretch for your posterior chain. And that's the entire backside of the body. So down the neck, down the spine, down the hamstrings. So for me, I'm really feeling this definitely down the spine and my neck. And a lot of people tend to hold a lot of stress in their backs. You might be really feeling this. This is one of my ultimate favorite poses. Yin yoga is just so important because as we age, our bodies are just becoming more stagnant and just conforming to the kind of poses that we're in daily. So if you're in a desk daily at work, your body's conforming to that shape, unfortunately. So this pose is a great counter pose to someone who sits in a desk a lot or someone who's driving a lot. It's really important, again, that our bodies are our vessel of life that we walk through every day. We want to keep them healthy, and I'm sure, if you do exercising too, that puts a lot of strain on the body, and that's great and all. But yin and yang are just interchangeable, or they coexist together, and we need both of them. So if you exercise a lot, it's really good that if you are watching this video right now and incorporating yin into your life, just bringing that balance to your everyday life. As we are just a few weeks into the fall season here, fall would be described as more of a yin state of a season, just because yin is associated with cold and dark, so things are just obviously getting colder. The nights are starting to get dark earlier, and there's beauty in that, of course. And it's just a time for us to slow down a little bit, coming out of the summer season, which is such yang energy, go, hot weather, warm, lights, like a lot of daylight to do things. So this is just a great time to unwind here. Get ready for the season, and even into the winter season is definitely a yin season. And as we're holding here longer, you might be feeling a release. I sometimes feel a release. It's starting at my neck and just goes down that spine. I literally feel it traveling and just unlocking pain points in my body. It's amazing. Okay, and just a few more breaths here. Awesome work. So walk those fingertips up extremely slowly. Turn center. So we're going to return to that fire log pose whenever you're ready. We're going to put our right leg on the bottom this time and bring that left leg over top. Make yourself comfortable and try to make those hips as square as possible. And again, you might be feeling some tension here already, and if you're looking for a little bit more sensation, you can go ahead and walk those fingertips forward. You might be feeling a difference on the left side versus the right, and that's completely normal. Just feel that release starting to happen in the body. Breathe that positive and loving and any type of energy that you're looking to bring in, energy to the body. And then breathe out that energy that you've been holding on to that just no longer serves you anymore. that stagnant, built up energy that we're pushing out right at this moment. Make a lot of space for, again, that positive energy and new prana force coming in here. So what we're doing with Yin Yoga, and we're really getting into the fascia and connective tissue, which contains our ligaments, joints, bones, and in order to prevent injury and just have our bodies be more fluid-like, be able to move better, Yin is what's extremely important. Regular stretching, of course, has its place and is really great to do, but holding these poses for the extended period of time, I'm sure you can feel the difference of holding it rather than 30 seconds. 3 or 5 minutes is very intense. But in order to, bypass the muscles and get underneath into that connective tissue is what we need to do, is why we need to hold them for this long. And our bodies actually are creating, once we get to that point where we're opening up, again, that fascia, our bodies are releasing a liquid called hyaluronic acid. It's actually a huge buzzword right now because I think it's really popular in the beauty industry. But our bodies naturally creates it. It's in our bodies already, and by holding these poses for this extended period of time, we naturally are releasing that into the fascia and making it supple again and lubricated. So that is just so fascinating to me and amazing that our bodies are just so intelligent. And we just have about a minute to go here, so continue to breathe. Alrighty, when you're ready, go ahead and walk those fingertips back in if they're out. And extend that leg again slowly. Alrighty, so we're gonna give the lower body a break and get back into that upper body. So what you're gonna do is go onto the stomach, and we're gonna do Sphinx pose. So we're gonna put our, let me scoot back. So our hands are gonna be right underneath that chest. And simply we're just gonna lift that chest here. And breathe. So we're getting into the back and the spine. It's also a really great heart opener. So opening that heart and is really important, and letting that positive energy, having a closed heart is never a good thing, even though it does protect you at times. Opening your heart and letting that positive flow into you and opening that heart to the universe. It's a beautiful thing. So if you're looking for a little bit more sensation, you can also push up into seal. So find your edge again. Typically, we don't want to be going back and forth between poses because we want to stay as still as possible, as one of the principles of the Yin Yoga. But for me, I like a little more pressure and tension in this pose. I hold a lot in the lower back. I actually got Akashic Records reading done before, and she told me that I pick up on a lot of other people's energy, whether that's good or bad, but I do store a lot of people's energy in my lower back. And I thought that was very interesting because my lower back does get tight sometimes, so this is a really great way to get that out, which again goes back to yoga not just being a physical practice, but a mental and emotional, which is just, again, so crazy to me that our bodies are just so smart that we hold on to that type of energy. So continue to breathe as usual. I know it seems like common sense, but I know myself too, and I've been in poses where I'm just facing a lot of discomfort. I hold my breath for some reason because it hurts, it's uncomfortable. But just breathing and learning to surrender is the biggest thing in the Yin Yoga practice. Surrendering it to it all. And Yin Yoga is a very internal practice, so you can always feel free to close the eyes. I'm just looking at my timer, or else I normally would be closing my eyes during all my Yin poses, because it's really just an internal practice, looking within, kind of focusing your breath and your focus on that part of the body that we're looking to heal. So breathing in that air and focusing on that lower back and that spine. Bringing harmony to our bodies. Just about a minute left to go here. So stay with me. And just a few more breaths to go here. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and release. Just take a second to lay on the palms of the hands, feeling the sensations and the release that we had there. And when you're ready, you can come back up. Maybe just start a tabletop position. Take a few cat and cows. Might feel good after a pose like that. Awesome. So the next thing we're gonna do is a side body stretch. So we're gonna put our right leg out first, and all we're gonna do is just fall. We're actually gonna first put our hand up over our head, and this requires a little bit of strength here, so I'm not gonna make you hold it for that long, but just so you can feel the side body stretch along that left side. All right, you can release the hold of that hand and then just fall over to that right side. So again, just like a forward fold, but just one-legged, and then you're also, instead of just feeling this down your back, you're going to feel this down the side of the left side of the body. So a nice side body opener, and I don't think we open our side bodies enough. I think they get a little bit neglected, but getting into the lungs here, a lot of the body is like the body parts that we have are associated with different emotions. So a lot of times if you hold a lot of tightness in the side body, that's where your ribs are located, and that's actually associated with grief. So you might not be going through anything right now, but throughout our lives, we just, again, those emotions just stack on top of each other and build up if we don't release them properly. So really breathe in to the side of the body, and then also probably feeling this into your hamstring. And just about a minute left here. Breathing in, focusing on breathing in that positive energy, and releasing what no longer serves you. Just a few more breaths here. Slowly begin to walk those hands back up. Feeling that release there. Before we go to the other side, we're just gonna take a straddle stretch. So we're gonna put both of those legs out as far as you can. Again, not trying to force here, but go ahead and walk those fingertips out. And maybe drop those forearms to the ground. Sorry, I'm so close to the camera, you can't even see me, but I hope you can imagine what a straddle stretch looks like here. So this is a great pose if you're looking to get the splits down one day. I'm surely working on that, and it is no easy job. Even though I've been practicing Yin for maybe about 2 years now, I'm not there yet, which is crazy. So we're just gonna be here for another minute. Okay, just about 30 seconds left to go. Just a few more deep breaths here. Awesome work. Bring that chest up. And we're just gonna go take it right to the other side. So this time we're gonna bring our right leg into our inner thigh here, and then just fall over that left side. Back up. Again, breathing into that right side here, feeling that release in the right side of that rib cage. Really breathing into that, maybe even feeling it down into the hip joint or even in the glutes, down those hamstrings. This is a really big release. Awesome, and just a minute left to go here. Slowly begin to walk those fingertips back up. And we're just gonna head into our last pose, Shavasana. So our final resting pose, so corpse pose. So all you're gonna do is lay down and relax. So lay down on the mat and breathe. Shavasana is a very important part of the practice. And that's because we want to take the time to integrate everything that we've done today. So kind of just focusing on how your body's feeling now versus when you first started this video, observing what that feels like, observing what feels better, what had changed. And then while you're laying here, just making sure you're letting go for this last moment. So letting go of any tension in the forehead or in the eyes, in the jaw, holding that jaw, down that neck, down the front and the back of the body, down the legs into the feet. Just relax here. And when you're ready, you can actually pause this video if you're looking for some more relaxation in Shavasana. But just for time purposes, since I said it would be about a 30-minute video, I wanted to close out this practice with you. So if you're ready, you can bring those arms up overhead and then bring to prayer position in front of your face. And just, again, thank yourself for giving yourself this time today to heal the body, be a self-healer, and yeah, so just want to say thank you so much for joining the practice, and namaste.